Welcome back to Truvon Talks with Rachel and Linda, your local counselors in the Valley.
Yeah. So we're doing
So,
our mini series
yes,
on Erik Erikson's stages of psychosocial development. And our topic today is ages 12 to 18, identity versus role confusion.
yeah. This is like my favorite age.
Mine too, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
The teen years, adolescence. A lot of people are scared of this age group, folks.
Rachel and I have been working with teenagers since our careers began.
Yeah.
hmm Yeah, I resonate with the teenage brain because I think it took me a long time to figure out who I am,
Mm.
what I'm doing.
Mhm.
So that, you know, the brain is still developing and pruning till 25, according to
Oh,
Dr.
yeah.
Amen. Yep.
Hmm.
So,
That's true.
yeah. So we went from our last podcast was on industry versus inferiority, correct?
Yes, 6 to 12,
Mm-hmm.
the childhood years, elementary school and some middle school.
Yeah.
Mhm. And
And
the goal
Rachel,
there was confidence. Sorry.
no, that's what I was going to say. So they go into the middle school, and if they have successfully became confident in their personhood,
Hmm.
the teenage years are, you know, not as crazy. Maybe not as crazy and chaotic.
That's a good way of putting it because I was going to say, oh, definitely not easier, but I don't know how else to describe it. Not as crazy is a good way to say that.
hmm
Yeah. Because if you think about it, if you have built a foundation of, I am worthy, I am good enough, I believe in myself, you're not going to crack to peer pressure as easily. So you're
Mm-mm.
not going to be solely focused on peer acceptance, right? Does everyone else think I'm good enough? What can I do to be good enough? You know in your soul that you're good enough.
hmm Yes. Yes. That's why I loved the show. I recommend this to all Christian parents. If you have another religion, that's fine too. Veggie Tales was the best self-esteem
Oh, cool. I
booster.
remember Veggie Tales. Yeah.
And at the end of every VeggieTale show, they said, God made you special.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. And that's what I told Grant every night. God made you special. So I just, that validation. And then they move into the teenage life and they're like, well, I am special. VeggieTales told me I'm special,
Just as I am.
just as I am.
Yeah. And that's going to help them with the decision making that comes at this age, right? And the biggest thing, which is discovering their sense of self, their identity, right? This
Yeah.
is identity versus role confusion. And so if we break that down into the simplest terms, they're just trying to figure out, who am I?
Yeah.
Like, who
Yes.
is my unique self? What do
hmm
I believe in? What do I like? Where do I fit in? What types of people do I want to be friends with? What do I want to do in the future as a career? Right? Who do I want to be in a romantic relationship with? How do I want to dress? How do I want to express myself creatively?
Yes.
Right? How do I want to style my hair and talk? Right? This is when like everyone's like bruh right now, and
Bruh.
all the lingo. They're just expressing themselves, and us older folks are like, what are these young kids saying? What are they listening to? Right? But it's all just like, it's identity, right? They want to fit
Yes.
in or stand out or whatever.
See, my role identity versus confusion. Right now, guys, talking about our hair, can't even find my hairbrush. That would be devastating to me if I were a teenager,
Oh yeah.
right? But I'm like, this is what you get when you just can't find your hairbrush.
Yeah.
There
You're just
wasn't
rocking
many.
the 80s.
Yes.
hairband
Yes. From
vibe.
the show Hairball this week. I'm like into this hair thing. I'm like,
Yes,
big hair.
I love it.
My sister, when she was a teenager, Elizabeth, she had that big perm and her bangs were sky high, like Cameron Diaz and
Tease. It was all
something
about
about Mary.
teasing it up.
Yes, and she wanted to look like her friends because the
Hmm.
perm poison band was it, man. That was the thing.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to go to school without a perm.
Oh.
No, not in the 80s. No, no, no.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I would say fitting in is feels like I don't know how to say this, like big enough. It is like crucial to a
Oh,
teenager to fit in,
mm-hmm.
and that's not a bad thing.
No.
It's not a bad, that's the developmentally appropriate and normal, folks, right? If everyone's got the stylish shoes, I mean, you got to understand too, a kid 12 to 18, if they don't have the shoes that everybody else has, that feels like
Mm.
the end of the world,
Oh, for
right?
real.
Because they know that they're going to be ostracized.
Oh, yeah.
And that is like the worst thing ever.
Yeah. They're not inviting my sister to the lunch table if she don't have the big poison hair.
The
The
hair.
poison is a band if you guys are young listeners.
I mean, I knew that, but thanks for pointing it out to them.
Rachel's younger than me, much younger.
Yeah.
But yeah, poison was in the big hair. So she couldn't sit at the lunch table with her other cool friends because, Dream and Vanessa, her girlfriends, they had the big hair. So you can't sit at the lunch table with the group if you're not in the hair group. I don't know why
Hmm.
hair's on my mind. It's just a hair thing,
The concert.
the
Yeah.
concert.
Yeah.
So that was important to her to fit in that sense of belonging. Who is my group? Who is my tribe? Where do I belong? Who
Yeah.
accepts me?
Yeah. They're juggling belonging and rejection at this stage of development. And it just breaks your heart, I think, as a caregiver. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's tough. I'm not
Yeah,
in this stage as a parent before, but I feel like as a therapist, you're a form of caregiver, working, with people as a school counselor.
yeah,
Very different from a parenting role, but it still broke my heart when kids come crying to you, right? Sharing their rejection story and just feeling so small and insignificant.
yeah. Hmm. This is what happens when young people are trying to find where they're accepted and belong. And if they're not fitting in with the hair group or the nerd group or the jock group, then just watch the movie Clueless or Mean Girls. You know,
Mean
now they
girls.
amplify it. Now they're
Sure.
amplifying it, the teenage interactions. However, when you don't feel like you belong, who's going to accept you? You'll find the persons that accept you. And if it's the crowd that's choosing, maybe they're choosing weed, maybe they're choosing alcohol, maybe their parents aren't supervising. Sometimes that's true, sometimes that's not. Teenagers try things, folks. Teenagers try things because
Yeah.
they're trying to figure out, ooh, they're doing that, so maybe I should try that because they don't have the
Hmm.
frontal lobe fully developed yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think it's important to have a conversation with your teen, and I think some people try to like shield them from things in the world to protect them, protect their innocence, whatever, however you want to put that. I think it's important that they know that this stuff exists. Knowing it exists is not encouraging them to go out and do all the things.
Mm-mm.
You're just you're helping them to not be naive, right? You're
Mm,
giving them knowledge, right? That things exist out in the world, right? And you can share with them, like, look, you know, we're okay with these things as a family. We're not okay with these things, right? Please let me know if you run into this, right? So I can help you, right? That helps your teen know there's like a line of open communication, right? Because
yes,
believe it or not, if you're like, never do this, I'll be so mad at you, but they're going to do it and they're just not going to tell you because they don't want to get in trouble.
that is true. They're going to do it behind your back. And they're going to be sneaky too about it.
Yeah.
They're going to run off to their boyfriend's house and they're not going to tell you where they are. I've done
Hmm.
that. I did that as a teenager. My mom said, "Don't date
Yeah.
that boy." I'm going to date that boy.
Right? It looks like defiance.
Yes.
It's a normal stage of development.
Hmm. And they're just trying to have fun. And, the hormones are raging and the libido's high. And they need you to talk to them about sex and what
Yes.
is and what happens if you have sex before you're ready. Just talk to your kids. I've been talking to Grant about this stuff since he was 6 years old because it was on the media. It was shared in the schools. Like there, it didn't matter. He was in Christian school, of course, and there's still access to those things. So
Yeah.
talk to your
Now
teenager.
more than ever. Now more
Hmm.
than ever because of the internet. It
Yes.
doesn't matter if you have all the parent controls at your house. Your kid has never been on a screen. The second they get to school, they're going to meet kids that have
Yes.
accidentally stumbled across things online. So
Hmm.
it is important to have those conversations in advance. Put it this way, if you don't tell your kids about sex, drugs, alcohol, whatever, somebody else will. And you might not like how they tell your kid.
Exactly, Rachel. You're right. So talk about it. And Dr. Amen said, I was watching some of his reels on TikTok, and he said, you know, that he messed up as a parent, Dr. Amen. And he
Mm,
said that the reason he messed up was because he wasn't fully confident as a young adult raising his kids. Like he was pushing his own self-esteem issues onto his kids. So he needed to
oh,
integrate and develop his self-confidence to not feel like, I can't help them with their self-esteem because I feel low about me.
I
You
think
think
that
that's
happens a
okay?
lot. Yeah, I think that happens a lot. Right. That happens.
Yeah.
I see it when people are pushing their child to do certain things because when they themselves were in high school, middle school, it's like, oh, the cool people played soccer or tennis or whatever. So like, you got to play soccer, or tennis, or what, you got to be a part of the cool kid group. And, you know, that's actually not helpful at this stage. You think it comes from a good place. It's intended to come from a good place, I think most of the time, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
trying to protect your child from the rejection that you felt or went through, right? By making sure that they're in this like safe bubble of a, popular group where they won't get picked on. But really, what you're doing is creating role confusion. You're assigning an identity and not letting your child develop that identity themselves.
That's well said. You're assigning your kid an identity. Wow.
Hmm.
I love that. Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
speak more to that, Rachel?
Yeah, I actually wrote down here. I This is a term that I was reading about prepping for this podcast. It's called foreclosed identity. And it's when you accept a role without exploration. So think of that as like I'm playing a character in someone else's story because it didn't
Ooh,
feel safe for me to develop my own identity. Felt like someone was going to criticize me or be upset, like I was going to get in trouble or not be accepted. if I didn't just accept this role. That's what happens when a parent is like over controlling, right? And you can delay your child's identity formation. And then they
Yeah,
become an adult and they're like, I have no idea who I am.
true, true. And if you ask teenagers, they'll say that. Even my young college kids sometimes are like, I'm not sure what I want to do yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's normal.
Hmm. Yeah. Certainly, as a parent, projecting your own desires, your own likings onto them doesn't give them opportunity to fail or try on a new skin, like in Fortnite.
Yeah.
They try on new skins all the time. Oh, today you're John Wick, tomorrow you're a teenage mutant. And I'm like, oh, you try on new skins. That's the same as a teenager.
Mhm.
Oh, I want to be the sweet goody goody two shoes this week. Next week, I want to be a rebel. And I'm gonna wear all
Mhm.
black. I'm trying on new skins, mom and dad.
Yep.
No, I don't like your skin. I don't want to be like you.
Yeah.
They want to
Yeah.
be just like your parents. Teenagers do not want to be anything like their parents.
No, and they don't care about your objective experience.
Nope.
So you're trying to relate to your teen by like, oh, when I was your age, I went through the same thing. They don't care. In the kindest, most respectful way. That developmentally are not capable of caring that
No.
you were rejected in high school because they're just trying to get through it themselves.
Yes. My horror stories aren't landing on Grant because guess what? He's not future tripping yet
Right.
because the brain hasn't fully developed in the frontal lobe. So they're not forethought and mindsight, the future thinking hasn't quite landed. When you were a teenager, did you think about your next 10 years? I didn't. Did you? What am I going to do for the next 10 years? No.
No. When asked to write a paper, everyone writes the same thing. It was like, I will be married with children. you know, you
Yeah.
just write like what you think is supposed to happen.
Yes. Or if you're like me, say, I'm going to be a writer and I'm not going to be a wife.
Nice. I like that.
And I was going to be a lawyer as a teenager. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
doing the marriage thing, you know. So, yeah, but you're just typically trying to fit the norms, the social norms. But that's a skin, you want your kid to try on new skin. So when people get upset over them dyeing their hair, I'm like, that's fun. That's fun. Let them do their thing.
Yes. Yes. The hair will come back. They can grow back their natural hair.
Sure, my
Yeah.
natural's coming in a
It's
little bit.
fine. Yeah. Parents, it becomes distressing and concerning to parents because they start noticing all these shifts in style, values, beliefs, friend groups, whatever. And that feels different. That feels new, right? There
Mhm.
also is natural shift in I care more about what my peers and friends think and what they're
Mhm.
doing than what my parent thinks or what my parent wants me to do. That is
Because,
developmentally appropriate. That is a healthy shift, right?
thank
That's
you for
supposed to
saying that.
happen.
Good job, Rachel. Healthy thing is they don't want to fit in with their parents. They want to fit in with their peers because guess what? Their value is belonging
Hmm.
with people their age.
Yeah. Think of it this way, right? Your child is learning how to move through the world independently
Yes.
during this stage from 12 to 18, because the next stage is young adulthood. It's important that they learn how to be independent,
Yes. Yeah. And
right?
your teenager wants autonomy and power and control over
Yes.
things. So Who cares if they don't wash their hair for a week? Who cares if, you know, they're into punk rock music for a while, but you don't like the language? Okay, well, you can monitor some things. Let them try things on.
Yeah. I think this is really where we're choosing our battles, folks,
Yes.
right? Is it harming them truly? Is it harming their health? No. Drugs, yes, drugs would be harming our health. We don't
Oh,
want that,
no.
right?
No
Is
drugs, no
punk is
alcohol.
punk music harming their health?
No.
Probably not.
Is
Probably not.
dyeing their hair purple hurting them?
No.
Probably not, unless it's toxic stuff. But
Probably
probably
not.
not.
Probably not. Right. So it's so important to choose your battles here. Let them feel like they've got some independence. Give them choices, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Can we do a role play since you and I work with teens?
Sure. What would
Yeah.
you like to role play?
All right. Do you want me to be the mom and you be the rebellious teenager and we're arguing over something? Or do you want me
Sh-
to be the rebellious teenager?
I'll be the rebellious teen. I don't know how rebellious I'll be, but I'll do my best.
This doesn't match Rachel, by the way. She's not
I
rebellious.
was not.
But that's okay. Okay. Ready? I'm your mom. I just walk into the room and notice that there's a boy in your room. I didn't know he was here.
Okay.
Rachel, what in the world? What is this guy here for? What are you doing? This is a terrible choice. You didn't tell us that he was coming over while mom was at work.
Yes, I did, Mom. I texted you 3 hours ago.
No, you didn't. No, you're rebellious. I'm grounding you for life. That's a bad. Okay, so we're coming out of the role play. That's a mom like overreacting. And I've been there, I've done that. That doesn't work for the teenage brain because they're looking at you like, you don't know anything.
Right. I feel like as the rebellious teen, I'm just gonna look at you like, what? Like,
Who
what's your
cares?
problem?
That's my boyfriend. Who cares?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it a different way. Now I'll be mom, the good mom, using the right language for the teenage brain. Okay.
Okay.
Rachel, I noticed your boyfriend is here and I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
Yeah. I texted you 3 hours ago that he was coming over.
I'm so sorry. Mom didn't see your text. I can see how you would love to have him over. And do you remember what we talked about last week about, things getting hot and heavy sometimes and your hormones? What were you gonna act on that, or were you gonna be
Yeah. Ew,
mindful?
Mom, I don't want to talk about this.
I know it's so gross coming from your mom. I'm so sorry. But I love you so much. And you can talk to me about sex and things, right?
Yes, Mom.
Okay, so you always are being mindful about that.
Yes, Mom.
Okay. Well, thank you. And nice to meet you. I hadn't met you before. You're so cute. All right, mom's going to go make some breakfast or lunch or dinner. So,
Okay.
coming back out of that role play, how did that feel to you as the teenager?
Yeah. Much more like caring, nurturing. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you feel seen and heard?
Yes, I did.
In the previous role play, you felt,
Attacked.
what's the problem with attacking your teenager?
I'm immediately in defense mode or shut down. I'm not hearing anything you're saying.
Hmm.
I'm in self-protection.
Yeah, because you care more about your peer that's there.
Yeah.
What
Versus
do
the
you
other
think?
one, I'm still like, the teen's still going to be like, go away. But I am taking in what you're saying. I am hearing it. It is landing. I'm absorbing it.
Yeah. And I would even have the conversation in front of their partner that they plan on having intimacy with. They may not, which is better, and they may. So I'm not being stupid. I don't mean to use that word. I'm not being not mindful that teenagers want to have sex. I can't go into this teenage life thinking that's not on their mind when that is what's firing off in their bodies. Yeah.
Yeah. You approach it in a like, look, I hope that you choose not to do this. And I'm still going to talk to you about it in case you choose to do this.
Yeah, called protection.
Hmm.
Because I love you so much. The attachment cue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that helpful? I just threw it in there.
Yeah. You want, yeah, kids to know that you care,
Hmm.
right? And so you're approaching it in a way that doesn't trigger them to put up their defense, right? And block
Yes.
you out, you know?
Yeah. Because they want autonomy and power. Autonomy and power over their own choices as a teenager.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hmm. Is that
Yeah.
helpful?
Yeah. It's just, we're not saying that like let your teen do whatever they want and have no rules. Like
Oh,
that's
no.
not what we're saying at all. It's just like
No.
this is entering a stage where you're having to choose your battles, right? You
Yes.
and you're probably have some big things you're probably going to have to, not big things, but like there's definitely going to be things that you still have a like absolute no
Right.
hard boundary. That
Hmm.
cannot be everything.
Thank you.
That
Yes,
cannot be
Rachel.
everything, right?
Thank you.
You have to choose what specific big things are an absolute no, okay? And then we're going to choose things that we compromise on, right? So like might banter back and forth with your teen and let them kind of think that they're like having some choice in the matter, like with a curfew or something, right? Teen's like, oh, I think it's fine if I'm back by 3 a.m. You're like, nah, you're maybe going to be back by 9. And they're like, 9? Movies aren't even over by 9, mom. I'm still in the theater. And you're like, okay, well, like, let's have a conversation about this. If not, it's not going to be 3 and you're
Right.
saying 9's too early, what would be in the middle? And they might say, how about 11? And you're like, I can handle 11. You'll be back home in the house by 11 p.m. And they're like, deal. Okay.
Love
So,
it.
compromise that gives them a sense of like, hey, I have a say in this. We are a
Hmm.
team. Right? My
Yes.
parent and I can work together to agree on something.
I'm your ally, not your enemy as the parent. Don't make yourself into the enemy because then their teenage friends will say, "Your mom, she's so uptight. She's so religious." And then "Oh, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. I want to be like you guys,
Mm,
you know." And so I love how Rachel put that. Negotiate with your kid. How to
yes.
make a deal is to start out really extreme, like come home at 8 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah, you always as a parent tip, start very extreme. Let your child go to they're going to offer up the time that 10 or 11 that you probably would have said to begin with. Don't give that away first.
That's
Yeah.
right. Um,
Yeah.
yes.
Your
Hard
teen
no. Yeah,
also my oh, go ahead.
you go ahead.
Are you sure? Your teen
Yeah.
also like in situations where you're like, "Hey, let's sit down and talk about something. I found out your homework's not getting done. Your teacher, I looked online at your grades. You're not passing your class. Your homework's not getting turned in. This is problematic. I'm not thrilled about this, right? What should your punishment be if your homework continues to not get turned in?
Hmm.
They're going to be like, I should probably be grounded for a week. And you're going to be like, whoa, like, or 2 weeks or something. I should probably have everything to, they're going to say something crazy, especially if they're on the younger end, like 12, 13. And you're going to be like, wow, that's what you think your punishment should be? Okay. Well, I'm going to offer something else if you see what you think. And you're going to offer something like, I'm going to, I'm not allowed to hang out with my friends on Saturday or something. And they'll be like, oh, okay. Like, because that's less than being grounded for a week, right? So don't be afraid to, like, barter and compromise. And it's really
Very,
helpful at this stage.
very good. That's so true. I'm in the seven challenges that the group poem I love so dearly, Stepping Stones. We've been taught, we ask, like you just said, well, what do you think about that? What do you think about using marijuana? What does that make you feel? Well, it makes me feel good. Yeah, you want to feel good then. Yeah. And then what
Makes sense
happens?
that you want to feel good. I want to feel good too.
Yeah. Then what happens when you get caught with marijuana in school and you're sharing it? Well, you get suspended and you end up in, let them figure out what are the consequences to my bad choices. You don't need to say, that was wrong. You shouldn't have done that. Well, okay. That's just going to cause, like what Rach said, they're going to get protective. They're not going to open up to you anymore.
Right,
Nothing.
right. But they're not really fully capable. I'll just say they're not great. They're not great at, like, thinking ahead.
Thank you. Right.
They're not great at this age. Their brain's just not quite capable. The prefrontal cortex is not fully developed. This is
Mm-mm.
the decision making area of the brain, folks. The prefrontal cortex. It's right here behind your forehead. Yeah, not fully developed until mid 20s, 25, 26, maybe 27 for some folks, right? So development's individual. So we got to help them. We got to help them instead of being like, no, for everything. It's like, what do you think might happen if you do that? Right? Help them kind of figure it out. Right? You're working as that prefrontal cortex for them in a way.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, say more about that. You're operating as the prefrontal because yours, we hope, is fully developed.
Right? Which may or may not be. You're doing your best. Either way, you're doing your best.
Mine wasn't. I was 22, 23 when I had Grant.
Mm.
So he had a half brain mom.
Oh, as a lot of kids do, right? That's a normal age that people start having children.
So I
Yeah.
can blame it on my prefrontal cortex for my bad parenting. I was growing up with him.
Sure.
No, I read all the books I could because he's special and I wanted to get it right for my kid. And that's what
Yes.
most parents, you're listening to us, you want to see your kids soar and fly like an eagle. And the best way to do that is to let them fall. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're their secure base, right? You
Mm-hmm.
you are switching from like, nurturing, very involved, right, to, like, beginning to, like, slowly take a step back,
Yes.
letting them leave the nest, right, for short bursts at a time. And you're now that secure base that they get to go out and explore, and they come
Yes.
back to you, and you say, good job, I'm proud of you, right? Make sure that you're praising good decisions, and if they're small.
Mm-hmm.
You see them doing your homework. Good job doing your homework. I love it when you get your homework done. Thank you so much.
Hey, good parenting takes a lot of energy and effort.
Hmm.
It wore me out. I'm still
Hmm.
wore out. I'm still wore out.
Like, I'm still recovering.
Well, my hair looks like this. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. You will lose all your energy. You'll lose sleep when they're a teenager. You're going to be up waiting for them to come home. You're praying incessantly to God to protect them. I mean, it's a lot of work. These devices help us though, because my mom and dad couldn't find me. They couldn't find me. But I was a rebellious teenager. And Grant, though, he has the lot. I can find him anywhere, everywhere. So I have a GPS on him, more or less. And most parents do
I
now.
think
And
most do. Yeah.
that's not stalking and controlling. That's you
The
reassurance.
safety. It's safety. Yeah.
Yes. I know where you are and I feel that you're safe. So
Hmm.
yeah. What else do we want to share today about the teenage brain? We could probably do another one on this, but it's up to you.
We probably could. Um, I do just want to quickly share that, like, this stage of development has added digital and social identity as well, which most of us did not grow up with. So I feel like that is its own podcast separately, just like how social media and, because that goes beyond just like their local peers and friend group and just like what they see the world doing and trending and what's going viral. I
Yeah.
mean, talk about overwhelming when you're trying to figure out who you are and you have like the world at your fingertips. How would you even choose what to try on at that point? I do not envy them for
Yes.
that. That's ugh,
Let's do a podcast on that one.
yeah.
Yeah. We
Maybe
just,
once we get through all the other stages, we could do that.
oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Um, okay, so one thing that Dan Siegel, which Rachel introduced me to, is
Oh, Dan.
the, oh, he's so good. When you get a like on your photo on social media, you get an immediate dopamine, right? Boost.
Hmm.
And that's the motivation drug in our gut. That's what was the doctor we had on our podcast? I'll think of it here in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
She said it's located in the gut. So the teenager, like Dan Siegel says, has a big surge of dopamine, whereas an adult we don't have the big surge. So a like to them is like a real mood booster,
Mm, wow.
self
That makes
esteem.
sense.
Yeah.
Hmm. Especially going back if they don't have that deep felt sense of I am good enough as I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is coming from others, acceptance of others,
Yes.
right? Yeah. And I'll share before we wrap up, if you feel like your child is looking for validation from others and not feeling good enough themselves, it's not too late for them to develop confidence. You can help with that now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
By by
yeah.
encouraging like effort, right? Praising effort and not just performance. All those things we talked about. So go back to the last podcast and give it
Mm,
a listen and just do that during their adolescent stage.
that's so good, Rachel. You're so smart.
Thank you. See? Praise. It's good at any age.
It's my favorite love language.
Uh-huh.
Words of affirmation.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate you all listening to our podcast on this stage of the teenage brain. We are going to continue our series on Erik Erikson's stages of development, and we're just having a good time with this. So, hope you
Yeah.
guys get something from it, or if you have ideas and you want to share with us to talk about, we'd be happy to.
Yes. Until next time, everybody take care.
Bye.
Bye.